with all 5 layers of defense. Number 1, feet. Number 2, elbows, hands, shoulders, and the mind. This is exactly how both of those guys got to the highest level of boxing supremacy. Canelo Alvarez means to the Mexican fans what Floyd Money Mayweather meant for black people. 50 wins in boxing, no losses, no draws. And follow for more.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? Were you 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I tried to beat him because, you know, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world. But 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have.
What I'm saying is that Terence Crawford is an absolute legend. He's an outstanding fighter. The only thing that stands out for me in favor of Canelo is his size and weight. He's just bigger, you know? That's the only factor. But when it comes to skill and boxing IQ, I believe Crawford can match anyone and probably perform even better. But still, Crawford is a legend, no doubt. Demetrius Andrade, a former world champion, acknowledges Crawford's incredible abilities, but suggests that Canelo's size and experience in heavier weight divisions give him an advantage. Andrade also points out that Crawford could struggle with Canelo's power and agility. There's also talk about a potential Canelo versus Crawford fight. You mentioned that you think Canelo might be too big and young for Crawford. Is that due to the difference in weight classes? Andrade agrees, saying, "Listen, I respect Crawford. He's a great friend. We've traveled the world together through the amateur circuit. I've seen him win, I've seen him lose, and he's seen the same from me. We've both been through it. But when it comes to fighting Canelo, the weight difference matters." David Benavidez, another top contender, shares a similar viewpoint. He praises Crawford's technique, but questions if his power would hold up in higher weight classes. Benavidez believes that for Crawford to take on Canelo, he would have to move up 2 more weight divisions, which could be a tough challenge. Benavidez added, "I can't really speak on it. If that's what Crawford wants to do, then that's his decision. Canelo is a man who does whatever he sets his mind to. I don't think he's influenced by what others say, but people do tend to talk about these things. There's a lot of buzz around the potential showdown between David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez, which many consider the most exciting fight that could be made in boxing today." Benavidez firmly believes he's the biggest threat to Canelo and sees himself as the top contender. In Benavidez's view, if Terence Crawford wants a shot at Canelo, he would have to move up 2 weight classes. While acknowledging Crawford's extraordinary skill, Benavidez stressed that respecting the weight divisions is essential. Despite his admiration for Crawford's talents, Benavidez gives Canelo the upper hand in a theoretical matchup, pointing out the difficulties of moving up in weight. Benavidez, who has long been a dominant force in the 147-pound division, is seen as a potential challenge for Canelo. However, a fight between the two has yet to materialize. Benavidez commented, "Crawford didn't fare well at 154 pounds. When I talk to people, they say I would have knocked him out at 6 feet 8 inches. He added, "Crawford has now experienced 154, and I think he knows now that moving up to 168 might be for a big payday. One of the biggest obstacles Crawford would face in fighting Canelo is the challenge of jumping up 2 weight classes. Crawford's last fight was at 154 pounds, where he defeated Israel Madera by decision. However, stepping into the super middleweight division would bring him face to face with even larger and more powerful opponents. Crawford has made it clear that he's eager for big fights, but the question remains, do matchups like this enhance his legacy, or would it be too much of a risk? For Crawford, every fight shapes his legacy, and he believes each one contributes to his career progression. "Every fight makes my legacy stronger," he said. Benavidez respects Crawford, but maintains that the weight classes exist for a reason. He's staying focused on his own plans for the future, adding, "I'm 100% focused on what I need to do, but you never know what could happen." Despite the hurdles, Crawford's adaptability and versatility could prove key in a bout with Canelo. His ability to switch stances and utilize both hands effectively. Take a moment to look up the definition of boxing and the art of the sport itself. Then, come back and share your thoughts. Boxing isn't just about knocking someone out, though that can happen. Yes, that's a possibility, but boxing is also about outpointing your opponent, which is why judges score the fight. I really respect your perspective, bro. It's solid and thoughtful, but you haven't really had a decision win in a while, and you're known for being a great finisher, so I appreciate that, but it doesn't reflect how you're performing right now. Crawford recently moved up to the 154-pound division and won the WBO interim super welterweight title. However, it seemed like he didn't carry the same knockout power that he showed at 147 pounds. For all those fanboys, for those riding the coattails, you see that, right? Let that sink in. Jamal Charlo is the WBA junior middleweight champion in recess, and he's also the WBC junior middleweight champion in recess. Meanwhile, Jermell Charlo holds the WBC interim junior middleweight championship, so it's important to understand where the big names stand. Charlo is still the top dog in this division, no question. You have to get your facts straight. Opinions don't count here, only facts matter. I'm bringing you the truth, no fake news, and I'm always on time with updates. You feel me? Shout out to Snack for their continued support and help during my last fight. Snack strong, baby. Now, moving up to super middleweight to face Canelo would be a huge leap for Crawford. The challenges in that transition are clear, adapting to the increased power and physicality of the fighters at that weight class. While Crawford is technically gifted, there are still questions about whether his power and durability will hold up as he moves up in weight. It would be a historic achievement if Crawford...
Look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs and Canelo's just standing right in front of him and bobbing, that's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time, power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going to 45 as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, he's been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
I'll say he is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. I was just mentally ready for his shots. I already told myself, I know I'm going to get hit. I know I'm going to get hit on my chin. But it's, I got to bite down on my mouthpiece and push. Look what happened in the third round. I got hit with a left hook. I dropped. We'd be practicing in camp the whole time, keeping my right hand to my chin. And I wound up just moving, and he connected right on my chin. And you see how I punched my glove. That's like a thing for me when I...
were to win the super welterweight title at 154 pounds, becoming a 3-time champion. That's a whole new level of greatness. If he gets in the ring with Charlo in his next couple of fights, while he still has youth on his side, then maybe he could push for even more greatness. But let's not forget, he's already accomplished something that hasn't been done before. If this potential fight materializes, Crawford's adaptability will be key. His ability to adjust his style, switch stances, and change his strategy mid-fight could make all the difference in a higher weight division. The flyweight's agility and speed could give him an edge in the early rounds, allowing him to outmaneuver his opponents. Meanwhile, Crawford's defensive techniques and high ring IQ would be essential in avoiding Canelo's powerful blows and creating opportunities for his own counters. What stands out about Terence Crawford is his multi-dimensional approach to boxing, a skill he's honed over his entire career. Throughout his journey, Crawford has developed a remarkable ability to adjust and think on his feet, adapting his strategy to overcome various styles. He's faced a wide range of opponents who have helped shape this versatile skill set. If this fight comes to life, it could turn out to be one of the most electrifying matchups in recent boxing history. Both fighters are undisputed champions in their divisions, and they bring contrasting styles and captivating personalities that have drawn global attention. As for Crawford, making the jump in weight class is a bold move, and it's certainly a dangerous fight. But I still believe someone needs to prove they can break Crawford's resolve, that he can't find a way to outsmart them. No disrespect to Canelo, but as I've said before, I haven't seen anyone who's been able to do that against Crawford. You've got to show me you can. While Crawford's technical mastery and adaptability make him a formidable opponent, stepping up to 2 weight divisions and taking on Canelo's size, power, and experience is a significant challenge. Many analysts and former champions believe that Canelo holds the upper hand, largely due to his experience at higher weight classes. Still, Crawford's ability to adjust and his sharp ring IQ could make for a highly exciting and competitive fight. Just a few weeks ago, Terence "Bud" Crawford shared his reasons for wanting to face Canelo Alvarez. "I just want the opportunity to fight the best fighter of my generation. He's the most accomplished, and I just want to test myself against another great. fight. This is a deeply noble reason, a motivation that fans can truly understand. Notice that Crawford's primary goal isn't money. While he acknowledges that the fight would be huge, I don't think he's talking about the financial aspect. Yes, the money will come, but Crawford is clearly focused on testing himself against the very best. I believe this is his true driving force, and that's something the boxing world can rally behind. What are your thoughts on this potential matchup? Do you believe Crawford has what it takes to rise to the challenge and defeat Canelo?